Spot was done originally as a story for my young son, Christopher, when he was 2 years old. I was working on some advertising material which involved the idea of a flap. I was just trying to make something work, and I noticed that he took great interest in what I was doing. It came through, and what I had done was it was a funny drawing of a man in a bowler hat and his hand rolled up, and I made the flap so that the hand came down, and on top, underneath the bowler, was a bird and a nest, and they immediately chortled. And that gave me the idea. I thought, this is wonderful, I was able to do that. And so I developed the idea of Spot from that moment with the flap. And of course, the idea of using a puppy was a very natural one to me because I love dogs. This is the first book I did for Christopher. The interesting thing was that when I designed or wrote the story and illustrated it, I had no intention that it was going to be a published book. Well, Spot's family, of course, is the backbone of the books. When I started the first book, it was all to do with the mum, Sally, looking for Spot throughout the book. From then on, we progressed, and Spot's father came into the story. Of course, he was a working dog, he's on a farm, so he couldn't have time off to appear in the earlier books. And then there was a sister that came along. After the sister, it seemed that the right thing to do then was to provide the grandparents. I'd observe my own dogs as they grow older. They get a little bit ruffled around the head, and so I decided to give that look to the grandparents, but just by introducing a little ruffledness on the head, around the ears, and on the rest of the body. Now that the grandparents have joined Spot, I think we've got shows our full crew on board. The stories themselves are based on very everyday happenings. It's essentially a family story. It's Spot and his parents and his friends and his immediate adventures. They all take place in a very, very naturalistic manner. They go for a walk with his friends. His father will take him to the pond to feed ducks. He'll sail a boat, he'll have a birthday to celebrate. And it's all very natural and easily identified situations. And of course, this is the good thing about it. It's able to be transformed into all the many languages simply because this is a style of life that many young children have anywhere you go in the world. We really have tried to broaden the visual appeal of Spot. Over the years, Spot has changed in format, book format, in style, covered videos and sound, all sorts of different variations. He started off with a plain white background, and we moved on to color. But the interesting thing is that he has never changed his character style. Can I tell jokes? Okay, ready?